everybody, welcome back to the Becoming podcast. We have Anna Sinclair back with us today. Welcome again.
Thank you.
This is fantastic. Before we start, I'd like to say a big thank you to the Hotel Boutique Leonardo here in Port Towels for supplying the room and looking after us so kindly, so thank you very much for that. The videos that are going out now, we're getting some fantastic responses, and you see them on the Celebrity TV YouTube channel and on my channel, Jamie Vida, on the YouTube channel. So check those out. The wonderful guests that we're having, share the videos with people so we can spread the word or the information that's going on. So, hey, welcome. Good to have you back again.
Thank you.
Yeah, I said to you, as I said to you offline, I said I got some wonderful comments from last time that we were together, which was really nice, that they loved your information, they loved the way that you spoke and you presented, which was really nice.
Okay,
And
no pressure.
No pressure, no pressure.
Okay.
But we talked, and you have got more information and more things that you want to share with people.
Uh-huh.
So how's it been since the last time we were together? What was your thought processes, and what do you want to share?
I'd like to speak on what my understanding is on transformation today, and what I understand about it, and particularly like how do we create a life we love?
Yeah.
Like what's in the way of us achieving that, and like focusing in on perhaps how we're leaking our energy in ways that isn't creating that forward momentum.
Right, okay, fantastic. So how does this work? How does this come about?
Well, my understanding of transformation is expansion, is belief in a life that you can't see yet, is about choosing yourself, about prioritizing yourself, and as much as, that's the kind of the key to it. As much as you can see people in your life that are struggling or suffering, like this isn't a group decision. Like if someone's not ready for their transformation, if they're not ready to step into it, they're not going to hear what you're saying. So the best thing that I've seen is just focus on you, lead you, choose you, and inspire them that way.
Right.
So the way that I have had evidence in my own situation is that your transformation is directly proportional to, I guess, the courage you have to look at all parts of yourself.
Right.
Okay, so I have this model in my head of how it works. So we're born our authentic self, okay?
Sure.
We're born with the gifts that we're here to have impact in the world with. And then over here we have the life that we love.
Yes.
And in the middle we have the resistance.
Right.
We have our limiting beliefs, and the behaviours that come with that. We have the things that we've decided about ourselves, which have become our identity, which aren't true, but we don't have any memory of deciding those, okay?
Right.
So it just becomes a case of how do we let that go? How are we leaking our energy? Where are we putting energy into anything that isn't moving us forward?
Right.
And I think there's particular areas that I'd like to look into, like patterns and how you honour your rest and where you use your mind over your intuition. And what I've seen is, like, focusing on patterns is that these will continue to show up to show you where you're not free,
right,
until you see them, okay?
Yeah.
And I think when you look at it like that, you can shift your perspective on the reality that you're creating. You can either see yourself as a victim to it, or you can see it as the creator of it. And if you believe you're the creator, you can take responsibility for it, right? And it might be a level of responsibility that you haven't thought about before. So, for example, focusing on patterns, like where are you putting energy into perhaps attachment and an addiction, and all this. I have compassion for yourself if this is what is going on with your life, because essentially, like, we're all carrying this pain, and we're just doing the best job we can do with the awareness that we've got in the moment. So if you're attached to doing something or addicted to doing something, you're doing it to be okay. So, but what would happen if that pain disappeared? It's quite likely that those things that you're attached to or addicted to would also fall away. So think about it if you have this view that I have to go to the gym 4, 5, 6 times a week, like, regardless of what my state is, my energy is, I have to do that to be okay. And there's a difference in that to just doing something because you love to do it. Like, I might say for myself, yeah, sure, ideal world, I want to go to the gym 4 times this week, but if I wake up that morning that I've, like, logically said we're going to go to the gym in the morning, if I wake up and I don't have the energy for it, like, I'm not doing it, right? And there's no shame around that, because the thing that I need to do in the moment is honour my rest.
Yes, very much honour and listening to your body, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's about listening to your body. So if something comes up, like I had on this Wednesday, and I for myself, I like to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, talking of the gyms, and then I'll try and run Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But now I'm realising that if I don't wake up and I'm not really feeling like it, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay just to not to do those things, isn't it? To listen to your body. Yeah.
I mean, another way that thing is with our patterns, we can't see them. They're in our blind spot. So another thing may be, like, just get really curious, right?
Yeah.
Like, every moment about every day, where are you putting your energy? Is this moving me forward towards my desire? Like, if you're doing anything from a place of, like, I have to, I should to, I need to belong, to be loved, then start to look at that. Right? Because that's all kind of coming from what you think about your worth, and what's the external is telling you how to behave.
Yes.
Also, perhaps anything that you're putting energy into for someone else's comfort, but you're neglecting yourself.
You're paying the price.
And I'm not saying, like, we're not here to help people, but you can help people far more if you're giving from a place of, like, your cup is already full and overflowing, rather than, like, you're half full and you're still feeling like you have to do something from a sense of duty. And that kind of leads me into, like, the idea of boundaries, like where else you might leak your energy. And I think we've forgotten that we get to decide, like, who, when, how much of our energy we give externally. We get to decide when people have access to us.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that you might kind of lose people in the process of starting to operate like that way. Like, you might start to disappoint people when you start to say no, but you're going to feel better within yourself for making that decision. And also, you might feel like you're being maybe mean when you start to operate in that way, but all it is the shift from I'm the priority, like, this is my life, I'm going to look after my needs before I look after other people's needs.
And that's so important, and you're right, because you find that when you're making these transitions, when you're making these shifts, the information coming through to you that you do move away from certain people that are in your life, and you think, oh, my friends are sort of disappearing, or they're not of high interest to me, but then other friends or other people start to come into your lives.
Yeah.
Which is great,
Yeah.
and that brings your energy up, and it's that energy barrier that you want. As you raise your energy, you will come in contact with people at that same energy level.
Yeah.
From there, so.
I totally agree. My circle has certainly got smaller, but I've looked at it from the perspective of we're just creating space, and perhaps because I've made the decision to choose me as we go forward, like that part of my life perhaps isn't going to come forward with me for the next bit, and I've seen I've intuitively kind of let people go, or the communication has just fallen away, but the people that have come in, I adore you. And I can I know that I can be myself, I can be vulnerable, you
can
love
talk
all
about
parts
subjects,
of me.
you can talk subjects that they understand. This is what I like, and maybe for you as well, is that you're not talking and people thinking, well, what the heck is he or she on about? But these people know, don't they? Which is really nice.
And I think you have to be strict with yourself, like if it doesn't nourish you, if I'm not feeling like I authentically want to connect with you, I'm not doing it.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. No, it's a wonderful place to be, and we need to look at these feelings, these emotions, because you start talking to people, and I know that it's happened before, is that your mind starts to wander, and there's like a wall coming up in between you and perhaps the old friend. There's nothing mean or bad about it, but your energies have changed, and their energies have changed. So it's an important area to realise. And you talked about intuition before, so when we go on this path, we start to realise that we're getting this information, we're getting this intuition being sent to us, and we need to listen to it. So
your body will tell you.
Totally from there. Yeah. Cool, fantastic. So listen, hey, we're just having a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back with Anna, who's going to share some more information with you real soon. Hi, welcome back, and thank you to our sponsors. And just while we're here, before we continue, like, share, subscribe, and do what you need to do to move this podcast on. So Anna, hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to have you again. So tell me where we left off. Intuition.
Okay, so focusing on where we might be leaking our energy, I think. We don't trust ourselves. We're not being taught to trust ourselves. We've been taught to kind of focus on what's going on external and be like, okay, they're doing it that way, I have to do it that way, rather than kind of actually trusting this guidance that is coming through us. I mean, we all have those hindsight moments where we're like, oh, I didn't trust that person. I felt something, and I knew, right?
Yeah.
And this is a practice. All of this is a practice. It's like little steps till you feel that this is the way that is working for you and keeping you in flow, and you stop creating chaos for yourself. But perhaps zooming into what does intuition feel like for you versus fear. Like for me, intuition is a knowing, and it's soft, and it's a whisper, and it feels expansive in my body, and I'm pulled towards my desires. I don't have to be motivated, I have to find the energy to do the thing that I know that I'm here to create. Whereas fear feels like the body contracts in this fear, and there might be a consequence that you're creating associated with that. And I just think anything that you're creating, and you might have got a timeline perhaps that you've logically decided it has to be done by this point, and any time you're forcing or manipulating or struggling, that isn't the way. And of course we can create amazing things using our logic, but it requires a lot of time and it requires a lot of energy, and at what cost at the end of it, like what parts of your life have you abandoned to achieve that. Whereas with intuitive action, like that one intuitive, like aligned action will take you like far further than pushing and struggling and manipulating, because they're all qualities associated with survival.
Right.
It's not ease. It's not flow. And like you just take that one intuitive action, and you'll see, and call it what you will. I call it the universe, but they'll do the efforting for you. They'll be like, okay, they're starting to trust. Like this is the way, and things will come in that you can't even imagine to help you.
Sure. And are there certain tools that can help people with this?
What I've kind of understood, like with my expansion, is that the modalities will appear to support you, and in whatever way you need, like be it somatic work or how to, if you're choosing to operate in a completely different way, something will come in to support you with that. And for me, it's something called human design.
Okay.
This is part science, part spirituality. Like we've all been taught in this really homogenized way, like this is the way that you're meant to do something, and we're all kind of think we have to do it the same way, but yet at the same time we all know that we're completely unique, right? This is where this comes in. Like this is a blueprint, and it's created on your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, of how you're here to use your energy in an aligned way, how you're here to make decisions, like what areas you're open to being pulled off course because of your conditioning, how you create opportunities. And like the idea, the theory behind the date and time of birth is that there's no coincidence that you're in the world at this time, right? You're here at this time because of the gifts you've got, because of the impact for change that you're going to create. Okay.
And we have to fight, I'm not sure is the right word. We want to do it with love, because there's so much programming that we have in our lives already, from our family, from our environment, from the TV, everything else here, where it's counterintuitive to our intuition and what we want to do. I mean, a child is not meant to sit at a desk for 6 hours a day to learn. You learn through getting up on that. So, I totally agree. So how will people do this? How is the easiest way for them to understand this?
To access the human design and their charts. I'm self-taught, but I took all my information from a girl called Jenna Zoe, Erin Claire Jones, like because they resonated for me. Like their information is super accessible. You can download your chart for free.
Right.
Like going back to, I think sometimes like people like have lots of opinion about the way you're creating, but I think if you're creating something completely new and innovative,
give it out.
It won't have been done before.
Sure.
So this, I implicitly trust my design. I know that I'm just here to respond to my intuition, to anything that excites me, and that completely keeps me in flow.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. And what have been your sort of greatest or your biggest shifts?
And if we like relate it back to how we're using their energy, like I celebrate the no's.
Yes.
Right. If I feel a no in my body, it's like go the other way. Stop putting energy that way, even if it logically doesn't make sense to me. Like I trust myself so much that I will stop putting energy there. I'll pivot and go that way.
Yeah. So how do you feel a no?
The no for me is like a turning in my stomach.
Okay. So it's like a knotty or an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, and I just don't. It doesn't excite me. Like if it doesn't excite me,
Okay.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
If it scares me and excites me, I know
It's
it's what I have to step into. There's a difference
sure.
between fear and a no.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And again,
yeah,
that's all
yeah.
practice.
Yeah. And the excitement, where does that come into you? Like if people are watching this and think, well, yeah, I can understand the knot in the tummy, but where would I feel excitement? So where is that for you? Is it like in your heart or your head, or you just feel joyous all over, or how does it come upon you?
The idea of it gives me energy.
Gives you okay.
Yeah, it's the excitement here. I know that the desires I have are because I'm here to bring them into the world. I don't know how I'm going to create them. I don't know all the steps, but I just take little bits of aligned action every day. I listen to the no's and I trust that it's going to happen. Yeah. Fantastic. And so if other people are out there that are watching, they're looking at this and they're listening to you again from here, and they've got queries, or some of the clients that you've worked with, what would have been some of their issues or some of the things that you've worked with them? Is it sort of general life issues, or there specific issues that come up? Generically, it all comes down to trusting yourself and trusting your body. Like I don't know what's going to happen for you. I don't know what's going to happen for me. But just get familiar with your yeses and your no's. Stop doing things that don't excite you. Yeah. Stop doing things that you think you should do or need to. Like, don't plan too far in advance. How do you know you're going to have the energy for it?
True.
Right?
Yeah. And then people there, if they start to feel vulnerable, then obviously that's another side. Okay, that's probably a no, or feeling a little nervous or scared, like you mentioned before.
Well, maybe that's a yes. Maybe that's something you need the courage to find the courage to step into. The bigger, more intense emotions for me have just been lean into them. It's giving you greater access to your expansion.
Yeah. Okay. So then, with the people that you've been working with, and I know a number of them there have had some wonderful results. How has their life been different?
First of all, we have to do the letting go. Let's get to a foundation where everything that you've created that is not that is associated with the not you part of you, that has come from the disempowering beliefs that aren't true. You know, say you've got this idea that you're not enough to be loved, and so you've attracted a partner that doesn't treat you very well. Right. The ego loves to be right, so that's why you're going to keep seeing these patterns. But once you see that, you have the courage, you let it go. We've got a foundation to move forward from that. Right. Okay. Right. And then things like really start to expand for people. Sure. So when they know their value and they know their worth.
Yes. That recognition of these feelings and things that are coming, whether the patterns keep reoccurring until we learn our lessons. Yeah. And we're saying, so when we learn that lesson, it's almost a way you can tick it off. Yeah. And then move on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, but you'll still get glimpses of them, but you'll respond with the person that is transforming, right? You'll have more awareness of yourself when that comes in again. So you're going to have that space between. You're not going to react. You're going to respond. Okay, right. You're going to respond differently to it, and you're going to be like, okay, I know what this is. This isn't true. Okay, less energy spent worrying, thinking about it.
Right. Then they let that go, and then they can move on. Yeah. Fantastic. When you're working on the spiritual side, was something we talked about before, away from here, talking about more the spiritual side and how these things are coming back into our lives. You're finding that with yourself, but also with clients as well, that they are communicating, talking more on a spiritual level than people were before. Are you finding that they're opening up and sharing about these things, about they're having dreams, or they're having thoughts, or having feelings, or having emotions?
I mean, everyone has their own experience of it. I work with people that just aren't spiritual
Sure.
at all, right?
Sure.
But once you've had that kind of cellular change in it, it's not like you have to wake up every day and do the affirmations and I'm this, I'm that, and actually controversial, but I don't know how much I believe in just doing affirmations alone will move you forward, because if you're saying I'm this and your body is like looping sadness and pain, then the body's going, well, actually this isn't true.
No.
So it's you don't have to like force yourself to be in a positive state, like feel whatever you're feeling, but once you've let go of the pain, like the expansion is just going to continue for you. Like most commonly the way to start is like, what's a yes?
Yes.
What's a no?
Right.
Trust in the wait. Trust in, if you're caught in a traffic jam, that you're being made to pause because later in that day someone's going to cross the road in front of you that you know, and
Sure.
blah blah blah. Where's that going to take you? Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else that you'd like people to sort of to take away from this? Because we're working a little bit deeper now than what we did the first time. Is there something that you'd like them to take?
Start prioritizing yourself, choosing yourself. This is your
Believing in yourself.
Life. I believe that we're all here to have a positive impact, and we're here to create change.
Yes. Yeah. Fantastic. Great. Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to have you here again. Wonderful. Anna Sinclair, everybody. Listen, remember to do the normals with the YouTube channels. The like, share, and subscribe. Anna's details will be down below as well as where you can contact her. Thank you, Hotel Boutique Leonardo, for putting us up and looking after us again. And thank you guys for coming and listening. It's been wonderful. So, Anna, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Yay! And we'll catch up with you guys real soon.